All right, cool. Thanks everyone for joining. This is our inaugural portfolio review session on the CG Lounge. We wanted to do that for a long time and finally got the time and submissions and people in here to do that. And for our first session, we have a very special guest, Sebastian Schütt. He's a compositor at Image Engine, and he was kind enough to join us today. So feel free to introduce yourself, Basti.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, thanks for the invitation. It's always exciting to look at showreels. I had to do a lot of showreels throughout my career as well. I was switching companies a lot and countries a lot just to kind of get out of the comfort zone, especially in the beginning of my career when I was learning and trying to learn as much as possible and learn different things. So yeah, I definitely had to update it every year. And I started out in Berlin, Germany, moved to Ireland for a bit, London and Vancouver. And yeah, now I've been here for more than 6 years. Was at ILM here for 3 years, DD for 2 years, and now lead compositor at Image Engine for the past 2 years.
Yeah, awesome. That's really cool.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Johnny, something you can introduce yourself as well so people get to know you?
Yeah, sure, of course. I'm Johnny. I'm texturing and look dev artist at Houdini currently. And yeah, texturing and surface are pretty much my world. I think it's visual storytelling, and I'm happy to be here as well and see a lot of super cool work and hopefully get also a bit inspired by so many other artists who are doing so great work. Yeah, it's cool to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So as soon as I actually announced that we will be doing this, we got so many submissions. We got so many that we actually have to split our review sessions in smaller chunks. So the first one today will be 10 artists, and we ordered it by date. So the first come, first serve, essentially. And we're starting with Andrea Schneider. I think he's the first one because it's sorted by name as well, and A is obviously first. So let's just hit play and have a look what we got here. And then we will go over initial things and thoughts. And it seems also Andre is mainly responsible for lighting shading. So that's what we will be judging as well.
It's actually cool music. I like it.
Oh, I muted it. I'm not sure actually if everyone can hear it. I should probably unmute it. And then I still don't know if everyone can hear it though. Right, that was the first showreel. And yeah, so let's have a quick look. So it seems Andre is mainly working in animation, and he's probably has a couple of more like still frames, which is good for learning. That's actually how I learn as well, as doing still frames, because they have a very good reference. But yeah, let's have a look at this one. And as I said, it's lighting and shading. So I'm pretty sure they have a specific brief. I'm not sure if this is a personal project or if this is actually from a movie. It looks like a Sony movie, but it's probably not. It would have been stated.
Yeah.
I love the subsurface scattering in the ears, like here, right?
Also on the candles, that look super cool.
Yeah. The only thing which throws me off is the ghost. It feels a little bit weirdly placed, and then the pulsating. It's a bit
maybe it pops out just a bit too much because it's so bright.
Yeah.
Glow is also a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could say a little bit more photographic, but then obviously we're not dealing with the photoreal project here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's also seems to be some kind of traveling noise in the lights. I'm not sure if the UVs are set up properly. I'm just looking here. It feels a little bit wonky, but all in all, I think it's still cool. It definitely shows the viewer what to look at, like with this nice
beam
here, and
just wanted to say the same. Yeah. The focus when we let out the skull, the focus is pretty nice. Set to the middle, and it's also that too overexposed or too little. It's kind of right in the values. So the character comes out very well.
Yeah. I wonder, like, he probably just didn't do the texture, so it must be some kind of production work, because if he just did lighting and shading, there's definitely textures involved in animation, so it must be some bigger project here.
Maybe a student project or so.
Yeah, that's something to note actually. If it's like some project, it would be nice to see what it was for, not just the software names and
True that. Yeah. I mean, we can still give feedback to the whole work in general. So maybe the other people with the rest see it as well. I mean, it can't hurt if we have time left. Then why not? I guess.
Yeah. Same for this. Like this looks really complex, and it must be some kind of production. Like it's not a personal project. I think it's way too involved.
I like this one.
Yeah.
Commercial look.
Yeah.
That's what I thought as well.
I'm not sure if this is a bit a stronger shot, which you would maybe put at the beginning of the reel.
Yeah, I actually agree. Like where the guy attacks with the bread knife or whatever it is, the Rambo knife.
Yeah.
It's definitely way more dynamic. Like if it would start like that, I would definitely be more hooked than the animation here.
Yeah.
Speaking to the shader, I think the skin looks very plasticky. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like more like a robot or something, or like, but it definitely it's way too shiny, way too glossy.
Yeah, it needs a bit of breakup also in the bump or normal map displacement, whatever. It's just look too flat even for stylized. There you need some action on the surface.
Yeah.
Still to sell a bit the material, but now it looks really like plastic. Yeah.
Makes also feel the hair a bit disconnect.
Yeah, that's what I thought too here, right? This section.
Yeah.
I felt the same.
But the key light, the rim light,
because everything is.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. Just I guess because everything, the face and everything is so shiny, and then the hair looks so very matte or rubbery, right? So I think that was just what it's like breaking it a little bit for me around this frame.
But I like the lights. I like the lights and how they reflect on her dress, and also in general, it fits very well to the scene, which is in general a bit more bright. So I think the lighting is well done here.
Agreed.
But yeah, maybe Arvid, you have there some feedback as well, as you're all lighting guy.
I think it just what I'm looking at is like how is it separate from the background, and it's dark on light, which is always or it's light on dark. It's always a good thing to have to just separate the foreground from the background, and I think Arvid did a great job doing that. So lighting wise, it's really nice. Like it gives some kind of Matrix vibes to me. It's pretty cool. All right, let's get going. So still life is always a little bit hard to judge. It would be nice if you present a still life to see a reference, honestly. And
I would change the order to the black and white render, just because we had here already this kind of black and white feeling. And if you go a bit more further, this one, I think it would fit more a bit
to the
theme. Like, how should I say? I mean, right now we start with color, then we go to this gray, almost like white gray, and then we already have color and then gray. It's a bit too much mixed for me at least.
Yeah, I think just if we get feedback quickly on the we just did the lighting. Yeah, so lighting is obviously very subjective. Oh, that's already the start. Just pause it. So we're already 6 minutes, so we probably need to hurry. I think the mango here and the what's it, lime, they look really good because they're a little bit more specky and not so dry. And the rest to me looks very dry. Like this, the apples, and here's some texturing going on. So they definitely, like a couple of like these ones work well as well. But
garlic also seems. I mean, garlic is also dry. I mean, in real life.
This one is weird. And then, as I said, the apples, the pear. Could be definitely more spec breakup for sure. I think that's nice. But again, he did just the lighting, so it's not too much to say. Let's just go to the next.
This one I'm fan. I just find that the eyes are popping out a bit too much, just because you have this super perfect white there that kills a bit everything. So, but in general, the light is very decent, if you ask me.
Yeah, if you like cover up the eyes with it, looks really really cool.
Hairs are getting it very nicely, the light. So I'm fan of it.
Yeah, same. It looks a little bit like Sin City, like where they have these really bright eyes in the rain shots.
True. Yeah.
But
then we need a bit of color key as well.
Yeah, like
so we're just a red. Yeah, just the red lips, exactly. Yeah.
Let's keep going. And this one, I'm not sure exactly what that means. Copyright by Pixar. Did they provide the assets? Potentially they did. I'm not sure.
Can I say that the depth of field looks a bit weird?
You can say that.
Yeah. I just the bouquet, how it looks like. It's especially on the clock.
It seems rendered though, because it's very
yeah. I had the same back in the days with Redshift, where it gives weird looking circles.
Yeah. But just looking at the lighting, we can see obviously the light groups. It's nicely separated. I think this light here just flattens it out a bit too much. Like here, you get the nice shape of the face, but then as soon as the fill light comes in, it just poof. It's just very flat.
True.
I think there could just be a little bit more work done. Maybe shadowing it a little. Maybe like a kind of a gobo in the face that it's just not. This whole thing is flat. But yeah. And then
this one is cool. This one is really nice. I'm a fan of it. I saw it when we scrubbed through. This one is really nice. I just have to feel a bit that on the nose it's a bit too much subsurface scattering.
Yeah.
And also the eyes are again a bit too much bright white. It's just if you have such pure values, they always break a bit their realism, and even if you're on stylized, you just want to stay in realistic values, even if they're a bit more saturated. But it's pure bright white and pure black, you always should stay a bit away. But yeah, it's again just lighting here what you did, and if you ask me, the lighting here is really good. I like it.
Yeah, one thing I would add, like the kick and rim lights are really helping sell it, but it's just what's throwing me off is a little bit the highlights in the eyes. You can kind of see it's just a constant light, which would be nicer if you would probably see a little bit details in here in the light source. Otherwise, what is this? No, I didn't mean to do that. Otherwise, yeah, I agree. Lighting it's really popping. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good job. It probably also could be almost closer to the beginning here. Obviously, it's a still, but
yeah, this is a really strong piece, if you ask me.
Yeah. And then the final one.
It reminds me like Switzerland, just the stylized look. Yeah, I miss it a bit. I like the colors of the lights, that you have the foreground a bit more cold and the warmer sunlight. Even if you have a cold scene, the warm light gives really a bit of a dreamy feeling. I think this is cool done here. Maybe just the mountains in the background. This one here gets a bit too bright. It's almost a bit distracting here from the house. I'm not sure, maybe this one a tiny bit as well. I would expect them a bit more in the atmosphere.
Like a haze, like you see.
Yeah. This would maybe help to separate a bit the cool looking stylized house here.
Yeah, Lego almost tells the story for sure, right? I really want to follow those steps like out of the cold, coming out of the cold, you know, going into the sunshine, into the warm house. Yeah.
It's definitely
that like the cool light in the foreground.
Andrea Schneider, yeah. No, it's definitely a very cool reel. And as I said, like a couple of tips are probably shuffling things around, maybe making this the starter shot, and then just maybe, obviously it's final work, but just spend a little bit more time on presentation and fixing like the eyes, for instance. But otherwise, it's a really good reel already.
So let's move on to the next. I think we overdid it a bit already.
Yeah, we did actually. So
this one is actually really cool. Sorry to say that, but I saw it and I was instant fan of it. I really like it.
So we got 4 still submissions from, what is it? Andrea, I would say is the name. Andrea Rivas. Let's just hit start resume here. All right. So a couple of things I noticed already, but it's nothing about I guess the piece itself. It's just something I noticed while just really actually there's a reel. Yeah, we can look at that quick in a sec. Just when this robot is like 87 here, the rope should probably be straight if it's filled with helium. That's just something that's just my head. So it's a little bit weird sometimes. And if the helium would pull it up, then it wouldn't be straight. It would kind of be a little bit tilted. But yeah, it's just one thing I noticed.
I think the balloon also is too solid.
I just wanted to say, like, you guys have to help me here because I don't know like what it is exactly, but it feels a bit heavy to me for being like even not looking at the rope, right? But the way it is lit,
just
what the response.
It has like this dark contrast. If it's actually a very thin plastic or rubber, which should just be kind of backlit, so you should see more.
But I like the colors in general. So you have the green, you have the pink, you have this more darker, not too much saturated blue, and just this red, which makes it a bit popping out. So I like that here a lot, if you ask me.
Although it draws a little bit my attention away from that cute scene, you know, like I constantly go up to that red balloon.
True that.
Because the flower is also a little bit, it looks a bit sad, you know, sadly desaturated.
Yeah.
Maybe it would fit if you don't have the balloon at all, because when you think about why does he have a balloon on his back? I mean, you can see it, you can hide it. So maybe the opposite around. So give it the balloon and have the flower. I don't know, but it just doesn't make that much of sense.
Yeah. One thing to just about a composition as well is or not composition, but I mean the quality of the foreground asset. It totally feels like it's a projected texture on the foreground. It doesn't really feel 3D, if you ask me. Like all of this looks very flat at the bottom.
Also looks a bit squeezed.
Yeah, squeezed as well. And it looks like it's a very, it's like a Photoshop background which is just blurred. You don't have depth of field. It's just blurry, I think.
Should we move on the next image?
That's just the turn to like the asset essentially.
Yeah. Something I can already tell because I'm from texturing land. You have this super straight edge breakups masks which come from the curvature map. And you always, my drawing skills are so bad. You want them breaked up. They're now completely the same value, so they are always completely the same thickness, and this is just not real. And you always want to break them up. You can do that with a noise or 2 noises to make them on some parts a bit more smaller, and on some parts a bit more thicker, and some parts they don't. Are there at all. This really helps for realism and to break this computer-generated look here on the legs. You have it as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a perfect. You can really see the curvature.
Yeah, it's just the curvature map which is driving there the edge breakup. That's a bit sad because the breakups on the body they are actually cool. Here the same. So
okay, let's have a look at this. This is also from Andrea. Let's just hit play. I don't know. Okay, I'm not even sure what that means.
Strong bloom effect on the plant.
Is that done in Unreal?
Oops.
Oh, it's very dark in here, so that's something I would say already based on lighting. There should be way more bounce in here.
And the texture on the lamp. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, here also missing.
Yeah.
Probably
Also, the robot doesn't have a texture anymore. It's gone.
Yeah, true. Not sure what the storyline is. It feels just like a game with all the little flares and gimmicks, like this stuff, and this. So that I can actually draw while it's moving. That's cool. Yeah, I think this is a great establisher shot. Like it really caught my eye right away.
I agree.
And then this, it's really starting out good. Yeah. And then I feel towards it gets a little bit less quality in terms of quality. Did he intersect actually? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's something. If you are not that good in animation stuff like that, it's not a problem. I mean, still learning, but you should not intersect. That I mean, you can see that simply is not realistic at all. I mean,
just move it out of the way like a half a meter.
Yeah. Don't want to sound harsh or so, but something. Better don't do it.
I feel this cavern or whatever that is, railway, pathway, whatever, tunnel, there could be more light. It just, like this feels too dark. There should be always a nice, maybe like a fill light from the front here just to show the shapes.
True.
Yeah, just to make it a little bit more interesting, because now it's just completely dark here. And then obviously, missing texture.
Yeah, this one.
Missing texture here.
Yeah. I think the papers on the table, they pop out simply too much. You instantly watch on it after you saw that the robot doesn't have a texture anymore. You look on the papers, which are just they're almost emissive. I would definitely dial that back, that they pop out a bit less.
Yeah.
What is super cool, the hologram on the table. I just saw it right now, and this is actually super cool. Also, the hologram effect is nice.
Yeah, it's done quite nice. What I think is quite distracting, are these weird little flying stars.
I agree.
It's probably a bit too much.
I have a bit the feeling that the texture resolution on the walls is not really there. I mean, it's not just less, it's just yet super blurry. I cannot tell it from where it comes, if it's just a shader issue or if there's just a texture like that, but it falls a bit apart. So here you have pretty solid textures, they work, and as soon as you're in this interior, it starts falling apart. So like, can you quickly stop?
Yeah.
So you have here this piece, which I think it's a scanner, so you have pretty sharp textures that work very well. But here you can already see it's super blurry. The table works, but I'm not so fan of the blurry textures. I mean, the ground itself has enough resolution, I would say, for this kind of scene. But it's just inconsistent in textural resolution, and that really comes here through. And I think the robot as well here can have a bit of roughness breakup.
Yeah.
It looks a bit to mirror style. It's just pure chrome.
Yeah, but all in all, I think it's really well made, especially the beginning here. Like these are really
this one is dope.
Yeah, and then it just fades off a little. Like it feels to me that the time spent was less and less, or maybe there was pressure to submit it or something, because like lots of things are not working here.
But the hologram is cool on the table. I like it. It's cool. You almost not see it because of this super bright spot here. You don't look at it. Maybe you can dial this part here down to get a bit more focus here on the hologram, because this one is cool.
All right, let's keep going. Baptiste Versier. I'm really bad with names, but anyways, let's have a look. And let's go. No Man's Land.
Cool music.
Oh, is there? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool stuff. Very good. I love these stylized, realistic renders.
Yeah. So big, this cannon compared to
This is cool color too.
But they are alive.
Nice.
That is pretty realistic.
Mm.
I like the breakup on the specular. It's really cool. All right.
Nice. Very good.
This one is a strong one.
Yeah.
Student real.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For that. All right. So let's have a look.
Yeah.
So
I
the
really
first
like the
shot is
opening
good.
shot.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
really strong.
It was just one thing. Why do you have some flying elements later? Wait, what are these flying elements? What are they? I don't get it. What are they? Here, right? Here you can see some. Yeah, here you can see now some things flying upwards, and I don't get it what they are.
I noticed that this thing is changing its shape as well. Like it becomes solid. It must be like a backface culling issue or something in the render, right?
I just don't get it what it is. So it's just wind which is blowing stuff away, but then I would expect that you already have some moving stuff a bit in, because the flag is constantly moving, which looks cool, by the way. I just don't get it what's flying up there. Out of nothing, kind of. Looks like beamed up by aliens. Yeah.
I really like that it is so frontlit, and that you could almost say like bold, because you would assume that you want to show
The detail.
everything, right? But then it is like so dim, but it makes it so photoreal. I really like it. Really.
I agree. This cannon can shoot reference balls. Look, it's cool. It's the ref ball shooter. Yeah.
No, but I agree. It's
Sorry, backlit. Actually, backlit.
Yeah, it's backlit, but it's. I would expect it could probably have, because you kind of see the 4 suns here.
Yeah.
That there could be
Nice.
a little bit stronger.
It's a Tatooine.
Yeah.
There you only have 2.
Yeah, just 2. Yeah, but I think it feels like maybe the sky chosen is maybe not ideal in terms, because I would expect totally
more overcast, right?
Yeah, it should be like you would expect to see sun here on these pillars and whatever.
Yeah.
But if I hold my hand in front of, or if I can probably paint it out, that works really well. I like that. But yeah, the flying pieces are a bit strange.
Something which is really cool. You have on the. Can you stop quickly? Oh fuck! I can do it as well. You have here these small bumps on the color chips, and this is a really nice attention to detail, because this is super realistic. It helps selling the realism. Even if it's a stylized asset, you still want to keep this reality details in. That makes sense, and I'm really fan of that. That he paid attention to that as well.
Yeah, it's like when there's corrosion happening and the metal rusts and then it pushes the paint up. I think that's really a nice touch. Agreed.
Yeah.
Probably there could be a little bit more grime and especially if they're on this environment here, that there should be a little bit more like dirt or like mud.
At least a bit of dirt here in general on the lower side, because it drives through.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm loving it. It's great. It would be nice if there would be a second shot where it is maybe daylight. That what Schütt said, that we see the details, because he spent a lot of time in like creating them. But yeah, let's go continue. This guy. Pretty creepy. I think it's a great lighting. Like lighting wise, it's great. From the model wise, it's a little bit simple, isn't it? Like all of this surfaces here.
I think it's a very nice start, but I agree. It doesn't feel sculpted to end. I think the neck here looks pretty solid.
Yeah,
but it falls apart on some edges, especially the teeth are looking a bit. Not quite there. What I'm what I like a lot is when the change happened here to this almost like painted style.
Here.
Yeah, it looks really cool, and the tongue here, it looks a bit flat here, so I would expect here this small little round bump is coming up, and maybe a bit more subsurface scattering.
Yeah, on the thin parts. Yeah, but I think this is a little bit much here again. But
more, always more, Arvid, more rim lights. They must kick.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going. This one.
This one is just solid. It's cool.
It's very stylized. I like it. The only thing that throws me off is the wind, like the force of the wind, that they just blow in a linear fashion from left to right. There's no turbulence in it. It feels like they are live, kind of.
What maybe would be cool is when you have this paper pieces laying down here and don't move that much, and as soon as the train comes, they get blown away.
Yeah. But yeah, I like also the format. It's like, what is it, like 30 or 21 by 9 or something? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The ratio. It's really nice. And yeah, lighting wise, the chairs feel a little bit too
subsurface scattering. Yeah. Cool with the stickers here on this column. They're cool.
Here?
Where? Which one?
The stickers here.
It's a nice touch.
They're cool. Yeah. I mean, you don't have it here, which is cool that you have it here. Maybe you want to put here 1 or 2. And here a bit more. But I like them. They're cool.
One thing from a comp standpoint is that the trees here feel just like a very low res image, which could probably be done better. Like you can really see the pixelated edges here.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. I'm not sure what this is. Like, is it just showing a different time of day? Or what?
Yeah, maybe.
The camera is also moved. The camera moved, right? Yeah. The camera's CCTV up there.
True.
All right, this one. For me, this is it's the lowest, like the not the best piece, I would say. So it just feels a little bit old. Like it's not comparing, for instance, to this.
Especially
quality.
if it cuts to this one, right?
You can.
It's
really
just not on the same level like the other work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not as good as the other work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would probably leave that out, honestly.
Yeah. It just pops out too much because the surroundings are so nice.
Yeah. And
this one is solid.
Yeah. And the detail here, I like that when it's rotating.
I just don't know what the glue material is. I just feel, I mean, here you can tell it exactly what kind of material. Oh, I can't paint anymore. Weird. Here you already know kind of what material it is, but I'm not sure what material here this glued parts are. Is it glue? Then I would maybe expect a bit of subsurface, or if it's this kind of, I don't know how it's called in English, but this stony glue, then I would maybe have it a bit more rougher and less popping out. So it's just a bit hard to get what kind of material this is.
Interesting that you say that, because I know exactly what kind of glue that is.
Nice.
What is it?
But you hear it.
it's Gorilla Glue. That's what you can buy here in Canada, Canadian Tire. And it's brown, and when it dries, it expands a little, and it gets these white bubbles. So it's almost like a foamy kind of surface. What if it's supposed to be that? It's actually pretty close to that glue.
Okay, crazy. Yeah.
But I get it. It doesn't look like glue. It looks like some kind of caramel or something.
I'm simply not sure what it is. That's a bit thing.
But yeah, really good stuff. I would just remove this one here, and then it's a really solid reel. All right, we again went over.
Damn.
Okay, we probably there will be a couple. We can go quicker.
I think we also have just a few stills. There, I guess we will be quicker. So
this is a
texture looked up. So I'm in.
This is pretty solid. I've seen that already. So Yeah, so he has a company and project on here. Yeah, it's the only thing which is a little bit odd is the ice.
Yeah. Fluid moving was a bit.
Castle.
But what is here 3D? What was there 3D?
Yeah, the wall. I think.
What? It looked very well done.
Which, yeah, we can dissect it quickly. It's
actually super long, huh?
Yeah, I was about to say for Showreel, there was a fish. It's a bit, I would say it's too long. I can actually see the seconds.
That's actually good when you have kind of a breakdown. I like that. So you can judge it a bit easily, I guess. What?
What is that doing here?
What?
Oh, that's good again.
It's actually nice textured.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen this one already somewhere.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. I'm aware of that.
It's like he posted it on the server then.
Yeah.
There needs to do work. Yeah.
The breakdown was a bit distracting. The text, maybe just skipped it out.
No. I'm just scrubbing through it now. We don't need to see the breakdown so much.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's, first of all, very strong piece.
Yeah.
It will be hard to give much feedback here. I think
I would, if it's a clean composite or meant to be a compositing reel, then I would probably skip the personal projects in the end.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, if it's not really showing.
Yeah.
It's always nice to, like, obviously showing you know, other skills and that you're familiar with your upstream departments. You know, that always makes for a better artist, just communication wise already. But since it's already so long, you know, especially like maybe at the point where those people dancing, you know, where we all were like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think especially if you want to work in the industry, I guess obviously he is already, or is it a she? I'm not sure. Demo. I'm not sure what was the name in the beginning. No. Yeah, Demo.
Yeah.
Demo Daron.
Texture looked at Showreel.
Yeah.
Sorry. Then I'm totally off.
No,
For some reason, I thought I read compositing in the beginning.
But
then obviously the personal projects make sense and everything.
Yeah. I think I cannot say too much about the beginning. I think there were anyway enough soups and leads who gave feedback on the work, so I don't have to feel that giving their feedback. But maybe we can give some feedback at the personal work.
Yeah, I will give one feedback though on this. Yeah, I think because he said he was working in texture look dev, that the snow and ice and the water, it just doesn't sit properly. It feels very artificial. Like this shot works again for sure, but the close up here, I can't really say what it is though.
I would expect that the water is a bit more, that you can see a bit more deeper, even if it's just a white underneath. It's just like gray.
It
looks a bit so silky or
like
something.
Milk.
Yeah.
Agree. There should be like white water a lot, and then you should see a little
this
bit
one
more
looks a bit
detail.
a bit weird. This part here when it's moving.
Yeah. But yeah, these ones obviously to VFX supervisors, and everyone has seen this a million of times in production. So
yeah.
Let's show what the caveats were here. Yeah, I like these shots are done really well. Castle wall set extension. So probably all of this here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here you can, or here you know it kind of. But on the wall, I didn't saw it. I swear. Aha! No! Oh, now I got it.
It's
okay, yeah.
Actually, yeah. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, now you can kind of see it a bit. So here on the here.
Yeah. I think here's
yeah, here somewhere. But it's hard. I wouldn't if there wasn't the shot 4 was showing that, I wouldn't tell it that it's 3D here.
Yeah, I think the cut is right here. Yeah, but I agree. It's like no one will notice that, and it's well integrated in terms of lighting and texture, so it's good.
It's matched very well.
What's going on here? Hero cut wood pillar. Okay, wood pillar works well. I think I think in general it's a very strong reel, but if this would be my personal reel, I would not show my personal work because it's just, especially the dancing people. I'm not sure. I would remove them.
Yeah. It's always very hard to kind of match the quality that you can achieve with obviously a full team of people working in different departments versus you. It can be still really good, but the contrast sometimes can just be so high that it can backfire, right? But
can you split it up into having two reels, kind of a work reel and a personal work reel?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because the personal work reel has a few really good shots in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would maybe not show the dancing people; they are funny, but this one is an example for texturing.
Yeah.
This is pretty solid. This is really very well done.
Yeah.
And this one as well. I mean, it's pretty strong.
Yeah. It's missing the depth hazing a little bit, huh? Should you? Like this is played obviously, and then it's not really so much there here. I'm not sure if he wants to match it 1-to-1. And if we can discuss he's responsible for everything. So I'm missing the specular on the palm trees. There's no speck on it. They just feel like really soft fiber almost. And in the ref, you can clearly see how specky they actually are.
Also, how much of the translucency they pick up from the sun.
Well, it's kind of there. I think the translucency is not bad, but it's just a speck. It's missing a lot. Yeah, but I like that he's like, the thing is what we kind of discussed. If he wants to be a effects artist or an environment 2D, he should do more like this stuff. If he wants to kind of do production ready work, he should just show up till probably, I wouldn't even have the baby in here, probably up till here. And then personal projects or whatever, this stuff, yeah. But having like all these breakdowns in your portfolio, in your show reel, I don't know, that is so good. I would rather split it up and say, hey, this is my technical breakdown reel or whatever. All right, let's keep going. To the next. To the next is Jivan Chun. What do we have? Just a show reel. No more details. Well, let's just play it. Still already what Johnny said with the edge breakups. So I guess it's looked up, yeah. Probably. Texture looked up.
Responsible for all aspects.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar. Like, it's great. It's more like a technical reel.
But I think when you apply for a job, the recruiters or the people in the interview, they are happy to see that.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I've been sitting in a couple of interviews.
Yeah, I mean, you have a bit more experience with that.
I would focus more on the shot work, and then, as I said, just have a technical reel on the side and say, hey, this is my whatever reel, my look dev reel, and here's my technical reel where I can show the tools I used. So that would be, to me, more interesting. Because I think I get why they do it, because they don't have so much content at this point, so they just try to fill it up with things. Yeah. So he got, what is it? That D-neck visual effects? Interesting.
That's double negative, yes.
Okay.
Concept art from double negative, okay, yeah. What I really like is the micro bump which is going on the surface. That's what I always tell us in my tutorials. It's the small little detail work which helps selling the realism. Yeah, you have this super tiny bump action and also super tiny roughness here, which is super subtle. And this really helps for selling the photorealism in the end. And I just cannot say it enough that you have to spend attention to that.
Yeah.
Even if it's just subtle, it's more a detail you feel as you see it.
Like similar to what you said, there is obviously the micro details, but then I'm missing a little bit the broader bump. Like all of these reflections just show me that the surface is really flat.
Yeah,
and,
agree.
And it doesn't really exist that flat.
Yeah.
It's like all of this would have a little bit like a bump to it. Not obviously not as much as I painted.
Something which helps me is thinking in kind of always of three. You have a big detail, you have a middle-sized detail, and you have a small detail. And you can apply that to a lot of aspects in texturing land. The broad breakups, the small breakups, the middle breakups. And like you said, you can bring in some bigger wobbly effects, which breaks up a bit. You have the small ones, and maybe some middle ones from a damage from a hit or so.
Yeah, exactly.
It brings in some interest.
A little bit. What I always like to see is, especially with robots like this, they all have joints and hydraulic systems. They always tend to catch dirt and sand. So, obviously, if it's fresh out of production, but this guy is definitely not because it is dirty.
Nope.
That you would see like a white kind of or like a yellow-white dust buildup or a grease at the bottom here where the joints are. That's always something which I enjoy to see, because then you know that, okay, this person who did this thought about how is this actually moving in real life, right?
I also have the feel you have these oil leaks here, which is on the breakdown, but they have the same glossiness value, which you can see when you play it.
Yeah.
There you don't have a breakup in the specular. It's just the same, and I would expect that the oil has a bit different reflection compared to the metal. Even
a bump, right? You would probably expect that it lifts a little bit off the surface, but I agree. Yeah, and then we've got the tech. I guess we don't need to look at that much, but this is cool again.
Yeah, this is solid. It's just sad that the wood isn't on the same texture resolution compared to the chameleon. You can see it. It's just a bit blurrier compared to all the small details you have there. I think these are the references. Yeah, references there. You're genius. I can read reference.
I was just comparing the reference and where he was getting these things. Looks a little bit like pimples, or you can kind of see the brush he used. It's like
it also looks a bit even, I guess, here. So it almost feels a bit too repetitive. So I mean, can I scrub as well? Yeah. Now comes the break. Where were the references? Here. I mean, you have kind of a repetition, but they're always broken up a bit.
Yeah.
So I would expect it here as well. It's just they are all in one row. All in one row.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit tough to say. I love the lighting here in the reference a lot more. It's just it's popping really, and I can't really say if there's what is missing here.
Maybe you can get some cool shadow effect from the leaves and some bright lights on his back and some shadows.
Yeah.
Some dynamic range is missing, right? It looks a bit.
You have it kind of a bit here on the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it looks almost a bit clamped for some reason, right?
It does, I agree. Yeah. What is essentially what we kind of see here on the leaf or here, that we would get more of this over here maybe, just to make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah.
More is better.
I just noticed something, but I guess I was just like looking at it. This here feels like a really perfect bridge.
I agree.
It's
interesting.
It's a little odd. That's not focused on. It's okay.
Yeah, now I only can see that. Damn, crazy. Shit. Now I can't see anything else.
This is almost even
But
better.
interesting. Oh yeah, that's true.
In terms
Yeah,
of
see here you have the dynamic range in there actually. See, and then also in the next one that you can see the lighted. Yeah. For some reason, it is a bit clamped in the final result or something.
Yeah.
And actually, also interesting what you said with that stick. That obviously, you want to focus on that animal or reptile, but again, the connection between something that is a little bit of a lower value and then the higher value, it's almost a little bit sad.
Yeah,
because it pulls you out a little bit.
Is it just the stream, or is the focus point more on the middle here and not on his face? I mean, it feels a bit that the face is a bit more blurry compared to here. I can be wrong because it's streamed, but I just have a bit feel that it's blurrier here compared to here. And I would, if it's like that, I mean, you can also see it a bit on the wood. Here it's sharper as here, and if you have a creature, you always want to have to focus on the head, especially on the eye area. And this is distracting a bit, if you ask me.
Unless you make it photoreal and you're trying to match me and I'm nervous and screwing up the focus, and then, oh my god, the belly is in focus again.
Yeah, I get that. Is that something else? Oh no. I was just curious now if I was looking. Oh, it just showed the same thing again. Reference. That's pretty good. Reference and render.
The reference already had a very CG looking base. Yeah. If you look here.
It's very good. There's not much to say, I guess. It matches it. Like, this would be a production asset for sure. Like,
maybe the copper here is a bit too uniform in color when you compare it to the richness you have here. I mean, you can see you have the dark, warm orange, you have the lighter orange, you have something in between, and here it feels kind of a bit the same everywhere.
Yeah.
This is super subtle, but it is there.
Yeah, pretty good. All right. Let's jump to, so now we have two. I think it's just images. Yeah, it's just just one image.
I'm always so blown away that apes have these black eyes with the orange iris. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's just it's hard to say. Like, it would always be nice if you submit something that we get some kind of info of what we're looking at, because it could be a grooming to entail, right? But it's most probably it's all aspects, but still it's always good to know.
I have a bit of feeling that his skin can have a bit more subsurface. Yeah. Right now it looks super solid here as an example. Here it's kind of okay because you have the dynamic range from the light. But also, this one is just like that. Can I switch? Yeah, here it feels a bit plastic-like.
No.
So it's just, I would expect a bit more light penetration. I'm not sure if it's just a solid subsurface everywhere. I mean, you can see that it has kind of subsurface, but it's just like too even. Maybe it's not like with the different RGB values.
No.
How is it called? When the different rays go different value in deepness. It feels like everywhere is kind of the same uniform white color gray.
I think also what's a little bit off is the camera chosen. It feels like a very fisheye lens. Like, the head feels very like coming like very pushed together. If you would use maybe an 85 or so, I think the head would just be more like solid and it wouldn't look so timid. The groom also feels like clumping is happening everywhere the same way. I think it would be nice to just have a reference here of what he was trying to match. It's for us, like we are now in the dark. Maybe it did look like that, but
this green doesn't light up here. That's crazy. Here at the bottom, it doesn't light up. It's not on the same. It's just triggering me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue
Yeah,
then.
it's a real feedback. So
now we have a couple images, 6 or so. Let me just go through them quick. I'm not even sure what that is.
Stargate.
Okay.
Never watched Stargate?
you don't know Stargate, Arvid?
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, you can like it or not. That's okay, but you should have at least the knowledge of what it is.
That's pretty cool. Stargate again. Oh, and a demo reel. Surfacing 3D journalist. Gorilla render. Wow, haven't seen that in a while.
The music is cool.
Pretty rough metal for a wedding ring. Oh, that looks familiar.
Just wanted to say, yeah.
Stargate. Okay. It's a little bit repetitive. Yeah. So it's, I don't know, I would probably open with a close-up render, like maybe this one here, instead of the dolly in here. I'm not sure.
I'm a bit distracted by the cheese. So here it feels like the subsurface is wrong, while in another shutter it's still somewhere where you can see there is kind of no subsurface scattering at all. So I have just the feel that this black part or this dark part is just too big. I would expect it a bit more
Narrow.
Smaller. It just looks like a cheese you don't want to eat. It just looks super old.
Yeah.
I was thrown off by the refraction for somehow.
Glass. That's what I thought. It's like just an image.
True.
Just zoomed in.
Yeah.
Because it's not moving at all, the refraction.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what I thought as well.
That's spooky.
Yeah. It's probably just what we're thinking. It's just an image and then it just zoomed in.
Same on the bottle.
Bottle the lower part, right? The bottom.
Yeah, even the horizon doesn't go, like it just sticks. But yeah, just a calm thing.
Yeah.
In terms of look dev, I think there's a couple of things that could have been tweaked. One is the cheese, which I agree. It feels like it's almost the same thickness this whole way. It should be obviously the front should be very thin and see through, same as the top, but then it should get solid quite quick. And then this feels
there since a long time, the cheese.
it's the same as the salami. It sweats really. It's like really shiny.
Yeah. I don't want to eat this.
Oh, that's very old. The grapes are also old.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's I don't know. I see that way too often. Like everyone who do like close-ups, they always add these fingerprints, and it's just always there.
But at least but it kind of like makes sense in that area, It's kind of like,
true.
okay,
Yeah,
that knife
the
has been
placement is
opened
right.
a lot. Yeah.
No, that's true.
Here it's a bit distracting. So here it's a bit too much on the thing you're holding it. It's just too much of detail going on in general, so it's super hard to read. It's just too big contrast and the roughness. But what I really like is the super subtle detail from the directional here, from this small scratches. They are made. This guys here look just a bit off, the super strong ones. But the small in between, they're just really nice. If you ask me, they're cool.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the metal itself looks really well. Like, also how it's kind of soft here. Like, it's really well made, the metal.
The reflection here looks super nice.
Yeah. All right, let's check out this. I guess I'm not sure what it's refracting here. Is that the lamp? Is it like
the lights? The HDR?
Yeah, probably. Oh, yeah, it's these lights here in the bottom corner. Yeah, I think what I'm missing if you do like a close-up like glass like that is the diffraction. You don't see the wavelengths being split up, which you would normally see in a glass. So it's all just, it seems like a very simple glass shader and not very sophisticated. There's no caustics. Well, there's a little bit actually.
But maybe it's rendered forward. It's rendered forward. Or can render caustic.
That's true, but you could still fake it. But
yeah, but a bit better as the refraction stuff.
Yeah, here's the cheesing.
Look here is what I mean. You can see there is pretty much no subsurface scattering, kind of, but it looks like faked subsurface scattering painted in the diffuse map.
Yeah, it's baked in, I think, as well.
It's a bit distracting.
Yeah. This feels also very plasticky and simple. I'm not sure. There's grapes tend to have dry areas and very glossy areas, and not like this. It feels almost like metal.
I just want to say for how old they are or they seem, right? It doesn't go with it. I could see like if they're like super fresh green, almost exploding from like the liquid, but they have that old texture, but then it's not resembled in the rest of the.
The wood texture also cannot hold the detail level you have on the fruit itself. It looks a bit hard to say. It's just not on the same resolution or detail level, or just something is off.
Let's keep going. I like this one actually. It's nice that it's presented like that, but it's actually. This is the hero, but then it's presented in a whole environment, which is, I think it's really well done. But what I noticed in this reel, everything is kind of broken up. I mean, like everything has dents and scratches and fingerprints. There's nothing really clean. Even the ring, a wedding ring looking like that. I don't know what the.
She will say no.
Yeah.
Damn.
But the attention to detail is still good. Like all these prints, that's what they what's the name? The goldsmith do. They put their logos and labels in there. It's really thought through.
About the small details, I think they're just too strong. Yeah. If you dial them back by, let's say, maybe 75%, but they're still there, but it's just super subtle. Just when you kind of see it when it's moving, that it breaks up a bit different. Because no surface is perfect. So I think it's good that they're there, but they're just too strong.
Yeah. I think this level here is good. If this kind of scratches would be like here, I think that would be good in terms of intensity.
Are these black stones solid? I think even if it's a stone or whatever, a glass, or I just have to feel that they should not be perfectly solid.
You get them though. Like I've seen black stones like that. So
Okay.
Yeah, but it would probably be a nicer touch if they would be like red rubies, which are very solid black, but then have like a little bit of red or something. But stones like this exist for sure.
Stones are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is, I'm not sure because I have tutorials about exactly this and about exactly this. It's potentially something he or she, probably she, added. It's nice to see. I like it almost looks better than what I did in terms of snow. The glints here are really what's making snow work, which is nice. And this feels a little bit too displaced. Yeah, this is too much here.
Yeah, that's now your turn, Arvid. You know the crystals in and out. And you nailed it, to be honest.
Yeah, the Houdini ones are pretty nice. It's hard. Yeah, it's you get clean stones like that and broken up, so it's a little bit tough to say. But again, similar thing as with the wine glass, you would see that the rays would break up, especially in a crystal, that you get the RGB broken up, which we don't really see here.
Yeah, this way it looks a bit like rubber for some reason, right? Because maybe you don't get that.
Maybe also because you have the kind of perfectly specular
all the time
reflection.
Yeah.
I mean, here as an example, they're just perfect. They're just, and also when it's moving, you cannot see any breakups. Here's an example. It's just perfectly mirror, perfectly reflective.
Yeah,
I would expect maybe a bit of roughness breakup.
Yeah, it's again a little bit hard to say because you kind of get stones or crystals which are perfect like that.
Yeah, you can polish them a lot.
So it would nice be for these turntables, especially for turntables, to see references. Yeah. Did we talk about this yet? I don't think we did.
With this one, I just have a problem of the scale a little bit. I can't really understand, make out like how
big is it? Yeah, because
how big it is supposed to be. Yeah.
Could stand here. What a great person.
Yeah.
Or it could be. Yeah, I agree. It could just be. I don't know. This could be the head of someone, right? And it's really small.
Yeah, I think something I saw also pretty much here. We have it on the stills. The small scratches, they are just. I have to feel they are tileable and tiled infinitely over the whole asset, and that just isn't real. I think you can get small scratches, but you have to think, how can this piece get these scratches?
Yeah.
And this is just not real because they are just everywhere the same. And I would maybe think, okay, when you mount them, you scratch there with your tool or whatever, and you have maybe on some spots smaller scratches, but they're on the whole piece everywhere. And that's a bit distracting for me. And this is maybe also a bit which doesn't help for the scale because you have them everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah,
here it tells almost like it's a miniature, because the plastic
the cable,
it looks a bit like that. Yeah,
they help.
Probably even bigger, right?
But then
like this. But yeah, no, I agree. It's a little bit off. All right, let's keep moving. We're already past the hour mark.
This one is cool.
So just a still?
Nice.
Just one image from Oliver.
I think he said that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks like it. Maybe,
like the colors and the composition. Yeah.
But isn't it a tiny bit too saturated? It's just. It feels a bit like you want to have a bit more stronger saturated piece, but you did it just a few percent too much. At least for me, it's just a tiny bit over it. It's just like a bit, look at me, please look at me. And I have read a very nice book when I was more into photography, and the guy has written there, and the quiet colors hold the people's watching at a image, and this really screams watching at me, and you watch at it, but it's really like, yeah, it's hard to tell what I feel. It just feels a tiny bit over it.
No, it is. I agree.
Oh no.
It's like what I just don't understand. Everyone knows the saturation of a candle. Like, where's this red coming from? That's probably the only thing I would say. If it's, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, here, this bottom part, this works well. Look, you have still kind of a saturated feeling, but because it's not that super hard contrasty, it's way more pleasant to watch at it compared to this extremely contrasty feeling here. Also here with the super dark spots, it's just, yeah, it's just a bit too much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the bottom part works really well, if you ask me.
I think in a general composition sense, it would make more sense to separate it from the background more, because if I squint, I can't really see what is in the foreground or not. Like, this is all the same kind of color. Like, all the things here is all the same.
Can we talk about the fur? It looks super glossy.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
It's I mean, I'm not a pro when it comes to hairs, but it just feels a bit like he is a plastic hair going on, this fake fur, because it's so shiny here, so glossy.
Yeah, it is. But then again, he added some clumping here, so he definitely, I think it's maybe a choice that he did. Like, it's,
yeah, maybe, yeah, of course, yeah. But the eyes are super cool. They're cool.
Like these fiery eyes. Like,
yes, they're dope. But it's also cool that you have here in the background, again, a bit of warmer color. I like that. But here, as you can see, it's still contrasty and colorful, but the values are way more less saturated, and it really is a bit more enjoyable to watch at it compared to this crazy saturated, contrasty foreground.
All right, let's keep going. I think we've got 2 more demo reels. Travis Reed. That's already a really cool opener for the demo reel. They in here maybe? No.
Looks like done from ILM.
This looks good.
Yeah. With the realistic shaking camera, it already helps a lot.
Shit. That was too quick.
Yeah.
You have always the camera shake. It's cool to have that sometimes, but you have it always. It's a bit distracting. Sometimes it's also cool to have a bit of kind of cinematic movement like that.
That's cool.
Nice. Nice. That's cool. With the small wheels. Nice. It's a bit weird that you can see. Yeah, it's jumping the asset.
There's a lot of things to discuss, I think.
Then back to this one.
Kraken.
The wheels are so nice. Sorry, they're cool. They're nice.
It's really cool. There's a couple really strong pieces in here, and probably a couple which I wouldn't add.
Yeah, it's like again a good example of like how the contrast can pull everything a bit down, right?
And yeah, here it doesn't help. This technical breakdown. Here I can fully agree with Arvid. Maybe just let it out. Because you gain nothing from it.
Yeah.
You gain really nothing from it.
Then this is just way too short. I was trying to look at it and then it's fading out again.
I mean, it's actually not that bad.
No? No, okay, yeah, no. That's what I meant. But you can't really look at it and then it's...
Yeah, I'm gone. Maybe the chrome here is too even glossy. It's really super glossy.
He even branded the car.
Yeah.
That's really
nice.
Nice touch. Yeah, I think the Vespa here, like all these renders, that's so much effort to do that, to just present the model or whatever. It's really nice.
I have a bit the feeling that this Vespa is a bit too glossy everywhere. I would find it cool when you have it on some part on that glossy level, but on some parts a bit less glossy, because it looks very used. And we also had, I think it was more in the beginning, maybe, somewhere where you can see it really well. The whole thing is super glossy, and that's just a bit. Here.
Yeah,
it's just everywhere the same strong glossiness, and on such an old piece, I would expect more difference in the gloss values, definitely. Also with some
dirt, right?
and also the dust, which is missing, the old dust, which Arvid said on another piece, which get collected in the occluded area.
I think what he's done very well is this broad bump, which was lacking in the other one. Like you can see that it's not reflecting straight; it's really like bumpy. But
I agree.
It's as Johnny's saying, it's just there. This is too. There's no breakup in the roughness, but you can clearly see which one he spent the most time on. It's definitely the Vespa vehicle, and I find it a bit distracting that then this guy is here. What? And then we jump again to the next, to the Vespa back.
Yeah,
it's a little bit odd.
Yeah.
I would maybe put all the Vespa shots together in a row.
Yeah,
I put it at the beginning because it's definitely the strongest one, and then maybe go down the road with the other works. But the Vespa is really the strongest. The jumping, I'm not so fan of it.
Yeah, no, I would probably remove this one. I'm not sure even what it's supposed to be. Then you go back here, so it's a little bit odd.
This weapon also holds not the same level like the Vespa.
Oh. The headphones.
I mean,
too, right?
yeah, it's just. I mean, they're not bad, but they're just the Vespa is so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably progression, right, of the artist itself. Like this was
of course.
His earlier pieces, and then he continued evolving. But I agree. Like I don't think they are really bad. It's just
no, of course not.
Yeah. And these ones, I don't know. I'm not sure. I wouldn't have them probably in here. Vespa again. And then this is part from the first shot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from this.
Here the ground looks just a bit weird, these tiles. Wait, let me just do here the ground looks almost a bit like when it's moving, when you have it as still frame, it's kind of okay, but when it's moving, here these lines are distracting a bit. It feels a bit like you have tiles and not a wooden floor.
Could be scratches from the cannon. Back and forth.
Of course, definitely. But they're just kind of the same deep, and I would expect a bit different. It's just when it's moving.
The defocus also doesn't help with the scale feeling again.
It's like tilt shift.
Yeah.
Tilt shifty. All right, so good work. I like it.
Cool.
If I would be you, Travis, I would probably remove a couple of pieces. The ones we mentioned, but otherwise the Vespa is really strong. It's good stuff.
Yeah, the Vespa's dope.
Then the final piece, and we will do a Q&A quickly after. So if you want to stick around, we can ask a couple of questions if you want. So last one, Will Fenner. VFX demo reel. That's cool. Let's see.
Nice.
Unreal 5 with Lumen.
Feels like Alex Roman.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, VFX demo reel. Not sure yet. Getting closer. Nice touch. Is it all Unreal so? No, that's actually rendered. Okay.
That's Maya.
Yeah.
You can tell us from the wireframe.
Harry Handsome. That was a big contrast.
Nice. Looks like The Witcher. Wow. Looks like a cinematic from Diablo. Yeah, now again, Diablo feeling. Nice.
Yeah, I would be careful, I guess, with that title of the
same.
VFX reel.
Because I was expecting something different.
Yeah, it could trigger false ideas or expectations, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, as Sebastian just said, like a visual effects demo reel is more about a plate from a camera where you integrate elements, right? That's what visual effects is. And this here is just I would say a lighting reel. Maybe I'll look there some. It's probably just a lighting reel. I wouldn't say visual effects reel.
We have here again a bit a difference in quality levels in between the shots, which is a bit sad because some of the shots look really, really nice, especially here. I mean, it's not bad, this stylized, but it just doesn't fit where it's placed in the reel because the shot here, it looks, I mean, it catches me completely. So especially the darker ones, they're really well done.
This one is nice. Like this one, and this one are really good. I'm not sure about these two, like the first two. But
maybe just use the darker one and maybe just move a bit or make how is it called in English when you have a time lapse? When you have a time lapse of the light, that would maybe be cool. Like the sun turns over to the night.
Yeah. But it's a good choice of shots to open because I think this one is just nice. Like it feels very
Alex Roman, which is great. Which is really great. Still state of the art. It's crazy. One man.
So he was responsible for lighting and comp. So I guess it's just a production as well, maybe. Comp wise, I don't know. It could be some haze, maybe. It feels a little bit crunchy here, right? In the blacks. I'm not sure. Could be a little bit lifted. Like here, because here you can see there's so much haze in the scene. Which you don't see.
Actually, good catch.
And maybe, because there's light hitting it. You would, in a library, I think it's maybe just me. I would expect some kind of dust modes or just some haziness in here.
Maybe. Bit of God rays. You mean like that? I mean, the lights with the pattern would be perfect for super subtle God rays.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Similar here. Like because you have this haze here and got a strong sun, you would probably see something.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if Unreal can do it like properly. I don't know.
That's the next thing, yeah, true.
But then, I mean, if you already go into comp, and open
nuke.
Open it in nuke, then might as well.
True. Yeah, watch a tutorial from Schüttmeister how you create some God rays in comp. Yeah.
Oh, these ones, they're cool. It's just
the night shots work again better as the day shots.
Yeah, I agree. Like this part here feels really nice. I think the diamond section.
Are there clouds moving? Just saw it right now. It's cool, actually.
Yeah, it's good speed as well. Then the breakdown. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, as you said, Johnny, I probably wouldn't put this animation stuff in here. I don't know. Like all of this is nice quality, and then you get like this.
Damn, there you're out. Yeah.
But then also a very big quality difference from this character to her. And then back to this.
Yeah, cool. Maybe, but maybe Mr. Schüttmeister knows it a bit better. Can I quickly scrub?
Yeah.
Here, I would maybe expect again a bit more haze, which desaturates or decontrasts a bit this part to this, because it feels almost like the same contrast level. I mean, you have it a tiny bit, and I would be sure if you color pick, you would have a difference, but it just have a bit of feel that it's too less. I would expect a bit more, which puts a bit more depth. You have it a bit less here. Here it works better. Maybe that's why the night shots works better, because here as well.
Yeah. It's good haze. Yeah, it's good. It's good just depth phasing. I think that's what's maybe missing.
Yeah, that's why. Is the what I said earlier, right? If you make the step already, and then you say you're going into comp-blend with this as well, then I would probably also expect a little bit more of a push on top of it. Of course, it's coming from Unreal, but then if you make the step, then might as well tweak it a little bit more into the photoreal direction.
Oh, great. Now we got this guy.
This one is cool. Here you can see a quite nice comp at the end.
Yeah.
So at least what I can tell as non-comper, maybe Sebastian can say that a bit more, but I like it. Also the colors. Here is a good example. The colors, they're just more silent kind of, and you really want to watch at the image.
Yeah. It's more subtle, I think. It's not.
Yeah, that's why Marvel movies don't work well. Sorry, they're just too colorful. Yeah, it really screams "watch at me," and here you don't have that, and I'm a really fan of that. But maybe it's also just a bit of personal choice, of course.
I still like the other one. But I see what you said.
I think the only thing which is a little bit odd is the chest. I'm not sure. I don't have a reference, obviously, how bat chests look like. But
looks like wood.
Yeah, exactly. It feels a little like this is cool, like the wings and the elbow here. This is from a look dev point of view, texture point of view. It's probably a bit too woody. But yeah, comp-wise, I think I like it. It's a nice subtle glow, depth of field.
Nice to put him in front of that, bright light.
Yeah. All right. That is the first session. So thanks, Schütt, first of all, for being here. And if you have a little bit more time, we can open up for questions.
For sure.
Yes.
No, thank you very much, for having me. Shows me also how much I still have to learn, and other aspects, for sure. Yeah. It's very interesting to hear you guys talk about it.
Oh, now we've got Inception.
Screenception. Nice.
Okay. I probably should need to stop screen sharing then. So if there's any questions, I think you can raise your hand. And we can answer question. Stefan says hello.
Long ago.
Let's see if someone is typing, so maybe there's a question coming up.
Crazy how time flies by watching so many cool images.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes over, but yeah.
Oh, we had that reel, I think. Was it the iguana? Or what do you
From
call it?
June. Let me June.
That was sitting on the tree.
Trying to find, yeah. Was it this one? I guess I'm not sharing my screen anymore, but you can obviously see the thing still. It's the robot and the chameleon, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this one, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for submitting your work. Really appreciate it. And yeah, as we said, we will be doing a couple of more. I'm not sure if we will do it once every week. Probably it's every other week. It's probably more realistic.
Yeah, we also need to check with the nerds.
Yeah. So I guess no one wants to. Probably because I had requests of. Maybe now. Now there's an option. There should be an option to raise your hand if you want to speak. Oh, yeah, let's see. They're just typing. So, Shitty, when is your next tutorial coming out?
Could be still a couple of months, but actually also an interesting, probably also for you guys, very interesting. What I'm planning right now is kind of like talking a little bit about camera optics, camera artifacts, lens defects, lens artifacts. Talking about defocus, chromatic aberration, and all of that kind of stuff, and how to interpret an image, especially for compositing. If you have to mix elements elements from a plate with CG elements, and you really want to understand what happened in the lens and to mimic it, to like glue it together.
Nice.
That's the plan for the next one. Yeah,
you should do one for our channel.
Working on it.
Yeah, you should do some tutorials for our YouTube channel, at least one. Otherwise, I will find you in Vancouver.
No, he's got his pretty big own YouTube channel already, so
yeah, that's why we need him as a guest tutor.
Yeah, he can maybe speak for a short one. So one question here in the chat: when can we expect the next review session? Yeah, as I said, it's probably not next week, but the week after. We need to see timing wise, but we have so many entries that we will have probably four more sessions. And then Jiwon, the read from just now, he's asking how recruiters review showreels in terms of level of details. It's actually not recruiters who watch reels. They just make the posts, and then the people will submit their work, and then most probably if you apply for lighting, the lighting supervisor or head of lighting, they will actually look at your work. So it's not the recruiters watching your work, at least in most cases. And yeah, they will definitely look at the quality for sure. And similar as we reviewed it, because we all have similar experiences, and already we tend to focus on the less good pieces, and they kind of stick somehow in the head. So it's always important to try to get rid of as much as your older work as possible, if it doesn't hold up to the quality you have at that point, because you look at the strong work, and then you see something not as strong, which will just pull the whole thing down. So it's important to
that guy, he's now lead texture artist at Vita, and he told me to get a job you don't need 10 assets. It's enough when you have at least 2 really nice, well done assets, and that's really something I can confirm. I mean, I don't sit in their reviews for new hires, but it really can help when you just have 1 or 2 assets which are done very well, like the Vespa, with a bit of further tweakings with the feedback from what we gave. This can really land you a job then. So you don't need 10 assets which look maybe cool but not quite there. So maybe 1 strong asset or 2 are enough, I guess. Yeah.
And sometimes if you have something, that is maybe it looks a little bit weaker or less valuable on like the first sight, but it might have some value that you specifically know that is not so obvious. It's always also good, I guess, especially in comp, I guess, to submit what do we call it, like a breakdown sheet where you explain a little bit more about it. Usually, I had the experience that people, recruiters and supervisors were very happy to have it, because I personally also sometimes have shots in my showreel that I know would look, when you look at it the first time, they don't really fit in quality-wise with the rest. But maybe for certain reasons, they're very important, or they have been done in a very short amount of time, for example, or like some other aspects that you would only know, then it might be worth giving a little note, and it would also show that you're aware of the fact, that it is maybe not holding up with the quality. So that could also help, because I think that's usually some of the big problems when people sometimes hand in work and they maybe just don't know that certain aspects of it don't hold up quality-wise, right? But then if the recruiter or like the supervisors realize, oh, that person actually knows what they're doing, and they have a reason for it, then it's even better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, I think oh wait, just a few more. I've missed the first couple of minutes. Okay.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
All right, I think let's call it. Thank you so much, Schütt, for first of all being a special guest. I'm not sure why. Oh, there we go. Full screen. There we go. And yeah, it was quite nice. And maybe we'll see you again. The next time, actually, we will have Yann Dupont, the French.
Nice.
In here. So I think that will be quite entertaining.
That will be.
Yeah.
I'll definitely tune in.
Thanks, Schütt. Okay, cool.
So yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and we all hope that you got some helpful feedback from us. And yeah, if you want, please join our YouTube channel, subscribe there, hit the button as hard as you can. There you can watch the recorded session and all the upcoming sessions as well. So do it.
And last thing to add, if you want to be live in these sessions, you have to join the CG Lounge Discord server, and then you can obviously be live in here, ask questions while we talk in real time.
Good point. Yeah, when you see it on YouTube, the link is in the video description to join this beautiful Discord server.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.